Hi there, my name is Aine, and this video I'll be going through my process on how I made my adventurer portrait, but instead of it being in the actual game, I put my artistic skills to use and drew it myself. This was inspired by a Twitter post by Rhyme Frosted, and I actually found it because I saw Estinian's teeth drawing it. And I love drawing my Warrior of Light, so I just saw this and I was like, oh my god, I have to do that. And I've been wanting to record my artistic process for a while now. I used to make speed paints, but I stopped. But I've been really wanting to get back into it, and I thought, what better way to do it than starting with a Final Fantasy XIV related thing. It lives in my brain rent-free. So let's get started. After totally not getting distracted while getting the reference, I began work. The first thing that I noticed and instantly regretted was the fact that I decided to make the adventure plate portrait a top-down angle. It looks very cool, very anime, very dynamic, but of course that means that it's difficult to draw. I sort of bitched out, took creative liberties in my style, and leaned into a much more simpler anatomy and look, because that tends to be what happens to my style when I draw my Warrior of Light. I like to keep, a bunch of little details and what makes my Warrior of Light look like herself, but, just in a slightly different flavor than the Final Fantasy XIV style. I really, really like to accentuate her personality, whereas the 14 style is, very detailed and pretty. Not to say that it's not full of personality, which it most certainly is, but as is of the typical Final Fantasy style, its main priority is making sure that everything looks very pretty and aesthetic, and I do quite like that, but that's just what my style is all about. While on the topic of personality, I actually want to talk a little bit about Lenny. Her full name is actually Lenoa Sutan. I originally made it before I had any idea what, typical naming conventions for Mikote actually were. I actually filled out the Meet My Wall sheet from their main account is SimKJRS, but I found it on their Final Fantasy account, Wolf Party March. Basically, I just made someone who I thought would be funny. I sort of describe her as Eorzea's equivalent of a dairy girl. She's from a made-up moon tribe in Vilbrand, and I actually made that up before I knew of the full lore behind Vilbrand, so I'm not sure if that is actually accurate now, but I just sort of went with, well, maybe they settled there after the Luminzens set up shop, which could make sense. I do imagine them being in Eastern Larnosia. They would be obviously somewhere that the player can't access in the middle of the jungle, and to me, I really like that whole idea because it sort of explains why Lenny can be, just a little bit feral. She's a little bit feral, I'm gonna be honest. I really, really, really love catgirl characters who are just scruffy. They're not like other girls. I love a catgirl that has the bandages and the scars. Yes, we love that. But yeah, if you want to get to know her, then the sheet's gonna be up here, and you can just pause that if I haven't already put it up already. I'm also just gonna, post up her general outfits and stuff, because I cannot stop talking about her. Again, you can just pause that, read it. I was talking with one of my friends recently who doesn't really play the game that often, but he said that he noticed that when artists that he follows takes commissions, they have like a specific clause in their commission sheet that says that they will not draw Final Fantasy XIV armor or weapons, which I find very funny because I get it. I mean, all you have to do is just look at the most recent Ultimate Weapons, which at this point is the Dragon Song Ultimate fight. Oh god, the memes that came out when we saw that. It was basically just a whole bunch of commission artists going, absolutely the fuck not. And I feel that in my soul. I'm part of a free company who's rather chill and casual. We don't really do high rate content, so I can't imagine myself having those weapons in the future, which I'm very happy about, because if I did have those, it means I'd have to draw them. And no. I mean, maybe. If I was paid like $100, and I'm being quite serious, I would have to be paid at least $100 to draw one of those things. But that's kind of what I love about this game. It's so pretty. I just love how so much of it looks. Now, I'm pre-recording this audio, so I don't know if I've actually finished the drawing beforehand. So if I haven't, well, editing Ain will just come in here and talk about something else for a little bit. Hello! So, the thing happened, and the only thing I could really think of to add here was I tried something different with the lines this time. We've already got past it here, but I am quite happy with how it came out. I usually don't do a very clean style, mostly because I just think that a sketchy, loose style is a lot easier to get across lines of action, which makes a very nice, flowy, fluid sort of piece. And I am really all about capturing movement in my work. Most of my inspiration comes from animator styles, so it makes sense. And I find that if you capture movement in an artwork, it gives like a really nice sense of story, you know, what they might be thinking, and it just creates a lot of visual interest. And also, colours this time. I didn't do very much experimental stuff with the colours. I literally just I dropped Tool the stuff in, but honestly, it's because I really, really like the colour of her outfit in-game. The dyes, I think, are something that people have been complaining about for a very long time, but I'm a bit of a masochist in the sense that I kind of like how difficult it is to find colours. Because when you find a colour that's really, really, really nice, it feels, I don't know, you just feel extra happy, like it's just an extra little win. It's just like, yes! I can make it look good! Especially if it's a dye that isn't as highly utilized as others. A lot of the browns and greens tend to go unused. I don't use them that often, but I do have a really nice Dancer Glamour right now, and I used a brown dye for her mask. You would have seen it earlier when I put up the OC outfits meme. And I actually also used that in an outfit that I didn't show up there, but it was for her summoner outfit. This technically is her summoner outfit, but this is it's like her hero time summoner outfit, which is basically just the artifact gear, but dyed purple. And I dyed the horn gold, quote unquote. Is it actually gold? It is a yellowish brown, because the, texture map on that makes it look like it's gold. And it's just little stuff like that. But, this time I just went, yes, pink, 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 pink. I like pink. I'm a Final Fantasy XIV player, so that's probably not a huge shock. And shading! Shading is my favorite bit of any piece, honestly. Very simple. I decided not to make it soft because that wasn't really the style that I was going for, and at most I just did like a clipping mask on top with a soft brush. That gave it a nice little reflection. And yeah, thank you for watching. I have my social media stuff linked in the bio, and have a good one. See ya.